Good evening, good evening, good evening. You know why I'm here. Thank you guys for checking out another one of my weekly Forex analysis. I do really appreciate your guys' time. Let's go ahead and just get this started. Today is my birthday, so I'm trying to do this analysis real quick and then hop out so go ahead and kick it with my family. And so yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Monday, USD news. We have PMI at 10 a.m. news, and we also have Australian dollar RBA rate statements. Tuesday we have New Zealand dollar news at 4:45 p.m., which is unemployment rate and employment change. This is probably going to bring out a lot of volatility in the markets, and thank you, I do appreciate it. Wednesday there is no news. No high impact news. Thursday, a lot of GBP news at 7 a.m. So you definitely want to watch out for GBP pairs on Thursday. Australian dollar 530 right here. RBA government low speaks. And Friday Canadian dollar. You have employment change, unemployment rate, and GDP. A lot of news all at 8:30 a.m. Canadian dollar, GBP news, and US dollar. NFP this week, so you want to be careful with the US dollar. It's going to be a lot of fluctuation with the markets, and before the Friday happens, I'm pretty damn sure. So just got to be able to see what happens. Let's go look at the technical analysis because I just like usually looking at the fundamentals before I look at technical analysis. So DXY, well, actually, let me get that back here. So first and foremost, I was saying that possibly the DXY can come back down to the head and shoulders from on the daily time frame that I was seeing, but that didn't end up happening. Let's actually even hide this and go on to the weekly time frame before I get on to the daily. Okay, so yeah, looks like the DXY didn't necessarily give any type of indication of what it wants to do with this weekly candle. It's just a thick candle with two wicks, one going up and one going down. Daily time frame really still kind of not looking like it's moving much. It just looks like it's been in between these two and in between these two zones. It's just been consolidating basically. So that's another thing that I'm not really caring for on the DXY. 4 hour time frame, you could see it even a little bit better of the way how it's consolidating, like I mentioned. So it's been just from when it broke from right here, basically. Lower this a little lower. There you go. So it's just been consolidated between there and then up here. So up, well, down, up, possibly come down, but not really looking to play with the DXY right now, honestly, just because of that consolidating that's really doing right now. I mean, naturally, what I would rather prefer to happen is for price to continue this uptrend right here. I'm just drawing it out like this because this is the wick where I'm getting it from. I mean, I could just draw it out like this to make it look better, but I like this better if anything. So yeah, we could use this trend line to kind of gauge the uptrend, I guess, but I'm not really a fan of trend lines or anything like that regardless. So it's like, let me get rid of these. Honestly speaking, with the DXY, I really do want it to make a bullish run before I look to trade it. But as of right now, I'm not even caring to trade it because it's just been consolidating. I want to see if it where it's gonna break out of first. If it's gonna break out to the upside, if it's gonna break out to the downside. That's basically all I can really wait and see what's gonna happen right here. Came up right here, came down. Just waiting for a breakout to one side. Let me maybe look at the 1 hour and see if I can get a clearer picture on there. Drop retracement. I can see it possibly dropping from right here, but I don't like this little squeeze and how price is just like, okay, consolidating. Basically, I don't care for it. I'm just gonna wait for a breakout type of thing, in my opinion, with the DXY. Let's go on over to the arbitrage. All I know on arbitrage on the daily time frame is been calling for a buy. and it's been playing out. So I'm just basically bullish on the DXY. Just on technical analysis point of view, it's not a good look. And even on the arbitrage, you still have this resistance right here being held. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. You still have this, well, not even a resistance at this point. You still have this like supply zone right here that prices have just been knocking off of. And so it still has to break this for me to be more confident in the bullish movement that's going to happen. But I have been saying since like a couple weeks now that I still want to see this play out. So price bounced off of this, continue to the upside. I like seeing these green candles. It's just telling me that price still wants to continue bullish. And so I'm not really changing my opinion on that. Don't care with how the 4 hour looks like. I don't really care with how this looks like either. Like, it looks like it called for a sell, but now price is over the RSI line. I'm just leaving the DXY alone for now, honestly speaking. 15-minute would have been the play, but that was from last week, and I don't usually trade that type of, like, on the last couple of minutes. So, again, DXY, not really caring for how it looks, so I'm personally just going to stay away from it until it makes better decisions. Like, it makes a impulsive move to one side where I could possibly get the retracement and all that stuff. Same thing with Euro USD, basically, guys. Like, it's not really looking that great to me. I mean, I do see that, yes, we do have this very, very heavy weekly supply zone that price has been working on for the past couple of weeks, and now it's looking like it finally wants to make it to the downside. Oops, did not mean to do that. Euro USD, we've been able to make good profits off of it. Last week we were selling whenever it was selling. Got some good TPs hit on that. But I'm still a little iffy on this. Right here. I still kind of want to see this play happen overall, especially with how prices just came down once, basically came down here twice, came down here a third time. I think price is going to make a push to the upside. What I kind of want to see overall is just, personally, I think I'm just going to wait for this type of move to happen, for price to come back up to like 1.22653 and then make a drop to the downside. If it doesn't happen, then I'm totally fine with that. But I'm just looking at this weekly like zone right here, and it's just very tough, and price has been struggling to break through it. But this weekly candle that that price gave us, it doesn't look to me like price wants to continue dropping quite yet. So again, if price can come back up to like the likes of 1.22653, maybe I'll be looking to trade that. But otherwise, Euro USD is extremely bullish, and we really shouldn't be looking at counter trending at this point in time, you know. And if we're looking at it from this fib right here, I'm keeping this fib here. Oops, did not mean to delete that. Where is it? Oh. Hide. If we're looking at it from like this, from this impulsive buy from right here, because I would consider this an impulse, we still have a long way to go for price to come back down if it's going to continue going to the upside. If it's even going to do that, I don't think it will. I'm seeing price, like I said, possibly coming back up here to come down here to 1.18848, then maybe, yeah, get a bullish move to the upside. That would be nice if it comes down around to this area. But overall, again, I'm really not that crazy overplaying with the DXY right now. I'm going to put this support down here so that if this breaks, then we'll be okay. Then price probably next place is going to come down to is like right around here. Oops. So if price breaks through this little support right here, then instead of playing this move, I might look for this move to play for the sell. What the heck? There we go. I might play this move to get into the sell. So drop, retest, continuation to the downside. Well, that's what I'm looking for mostly. If it does end up going bullish and breaking this zone right here, then I'll reconsider how I'm looking at it for the trade. But these are my two trade setups on the DXY basically, for price to push up back to these highs where it dropped from and then continue to the downside, or possibly just break these lows right here at 1.206660 and then retest it, then continue down. That's what I'm basically looking at for Euro USD. Let's go on over to arbitrage real quick, daily time frame. And so yeah, I like the daily how it looks because it is still showing bearish movement on Euro USD from right here all the way down here. It's in profits from my what would have been my entry, although I'd gone out of EU a long time ago. And so I'm still looking for this to push to the downside. If it does in fact end up coming back up to these highs, then probably arbitrage is going to start calling for a buy, which would then make me be like, okay, I'm not really looking for buys. So again, at this point with EU, you can probably look to. I don't want to sell it here because it's been rejecting off of like I said. Let me go back to the naked chart. It's been rejecting off of this 1.20 line basically right here, and so I don't want to try to sell it right here, or then price can just float back up. I'd rather just wait and be patient and see what's up. It's going over to the other arbitrage. I'm pretty sure 4 hours called for a sell. It's not doing anything. Yeah, not liking that. This 1 hour looks like it wants to call for a sell. Now this might be a little better looking type of trade. If it calls for a sell right here, then yeah, sure. But then I'm probably just going to have to be like, okay, well then I need to exit. Or I need to be able to... Oh, well there you go. Long exit all alert. I already have one right there. So if price does end up giving me the long exit all, that means it's calling for a short, then maybe you can look for a sell position right here for price to push down. But right now, not really looking like that's going to happen. 15-minute time frame called for a nice sell. Would have been profit, but still. I'm just not crazy over the... Like I said, I'm just waiting. I personally speaking, either I wait for arbitrage to give me a better setup, or I just play this out. Those are my two options right now at this point. Don't really care for how the market's looking for the Euro USD and DXY. Daily time frame on GU. GU's been just a funny pair, honestly speaking. GU has been extremely funny. It's going over to the lower time frames. It's just been consolidating right here. Actually, I just want to I just want to get a whole new drawing up on here. Alright, so Gbp USD been chilling at these highs right here for the past 2 weeks, right? And I've been saying that, only time that I'm going to say that this is going to continue going bullish is if it breaks these highs. If it breaks 1.7, basically if it breaks 1.3800, basically, right? I needed to break and close. When I say break, I mean that it closes over here for me to be able to be like, okay, price is probably gonna next price is gonna come up to like 1.400 or some 1.4200 or something like that, you know. But until that happens, I can't say that this is bullish. I really can't say in gold faith or not. Let me rephrase that, because this is definitely bullish, but I can't say that it's going to continue going to the upside if it's really struggling to break through this supply zone, you know? So go on to the daily time frame. Well, first of all, let's even look at the weekly candle that got printed out. To doji, so that's one sign that price could be potentially trying to change. Who knows? Daily time frame, been having a lot of consolidation just up here, so just looking for a breakout from either the upside or the downside, basically, with GBP USD. Don't really care for how the 4 hours looking either. It's just looking more, like I said, it's looking like it's more consolidating than anything. Would have to see if I want the push to the downside. Basically, I'm going to have to see price break through this trend line, retest it, then continue to the downside, in my honest opinion. Not really looking for any type of fib moves right now at this point, because it's just a whole lot of mess that I'm seeing. No, or if you want me to draw it from right there, boom. So again, I kind of want to see price just end up break into the downside, retest it, continuation to the downside. I have a good feeling that the point of control is either right here on the 4 hour or down here. Let's see where the point of control is at. Oh, right here, even better. So yeah, guys, I gotta kind of have to see what GU is gonna look like. Probably gonna have to be a arbitrage setup type of thing. Although I wouldn't doubt it if arbitrage is already given some type of setup for it. But again, unless 1.37600 gets broken, I'm not going to be looking for any type of buys on GU. 1 hour time frame. Called for this sell. I don't really care for arbitrage bands when it looks like this, but you can get into the sell if you want. The 4 hour time frames over this RSI line, that's not a good sign for any potential sellers, and the daily is just extremely bullish. So yeah, again, GU, I'm not really caring for how the market's looking for me personally. I'd have to see this trend line get broken before I even consider trying to sell GU. So with that being said, put this right here. You guys can see that 1, 2, 3, couple touches right here. So price touches here, bounce back up, push to the downside. That's all I could really see. Okay. Let's go on over to GBP or AUD USD actually. Let me get off of that. AU paid out nicely last week. Looking like it's starting to make some bearish movement. Let's go ahead and delete all this stuff, shall we? Delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. Alright. So, weekly time frame, first and foremost. Price has been reacting to this supply zone that I've drawn out, and I like the way how it reacted, and now it's starting to make that push to the downside. And it's closed under this little, let's go to the daily time frame real quick. It's closed under this little support that I had drawn, and I was like, okay, if it breaks through this, then I'll be looking more for a bearish opinion on AUD USD, but I'm not quite there yet because it's still very, very, very bullish. I need to see a lot more of what it's broken through to be broken for me to feel comfortable with that. But let's just draw this trend line that price has been overly respecting. It broke through it, retested. Looks like it's finally getting ready to drop. I sometimes hate how trend lines work. To be quite honest with you, sometimes hate it. But yeah. Broke it, retested it. Looks like it's going to drop to the downside. That's a good sign for me. 4 hour time frame. Looks like a solid break and retest type of move could be possibly happening, but I just don't like these candles right here. Where prices came back down to. It could keep dropping for sure, but you just gotta be careful. 1 hour time frame, same thing. I'm not really caring for it overall. Let's go on to arbitrage, dude, because I don't really. AUD USD, it looks like it's broken through the RSI line on the daily, so this is huge for me because look, this is the last time price had called for a sell, which was back in September, and it did give like a little bit of money, I guess, more of drawdown than profits, if you will. I'd probably gotten not like a run right here, but then called for a buy, been buying ever since. I want to see if this calls for a sell, how that would play out, but USD pairs are a whole lot mess right now. All I really want to see is the DXY pop, and then that would give me more of confidence to sell this, you know? So that's for AUD USD. Not really gonna. I can't really give anything much to say about it other than if it retests here, I'm gonna look to see if it's going to hold like at 0.76500, and if it does hold, then I'll look for a long-term sell. But other than that, nothing really. It's going over to EA. EA is probably the exact opposite of AU. Probably. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So unfortunately, damn, this thing did numbers, man. This retest came to the 61.8. Did it even hit my 78.6? This thing did numbers. Oh well, it is what it is. That was a good setup. If you were able to profit to make money off of that, then kudos to you. Shit. Okay. Let me go ahead and just clear all this off. Go on to the weekly time frame. Weekly looking like there's no real, like, if I see one more bullish candle, then maybe I'll start to say, okay, things are starting to look like they want to turn around. But on the weekly time frame, really, still, price is just barely. Wait, no, not that. There we go. Wait, what? There. I'm tripping. Price is still barely just like holding right off of this support line right here. And so what I kind of still want to see is for price to, like, probably not. That's funny. Daily time frame. I don't like seeing this daily candle right here, and then price going back up to fill it, because now I just feel like price is gonna end up coming back down and then popping to the upside again. These pairs are just looking terrible, man. I don't like how the market's looking. This is definitely popping up to the upside. Actually, let me get a channel right here for a second. There we go. Let me see what this is looking like. Yeah, now this is mad invalid. Alright, so I mean, EA basically it did its thing. Like, it pushed to the upside, retraced nicely, then came back up. I can't really say that I like wanting to try to trade this, because at the same time, look where prices came back up to. It came back up to this little resistance, could reject, and then push to the downside. So I'm looking more of a downside move, to be quite honest. But then if price comes back down to this trend line, I'm looking for it to take off. That's all I can really say about EA. I mean, like I said, it's probably the exact opposite of AU. We have the daily time frame. It wants to call for the buy, hasn't called for the buy quite yet. So I kind of want to see it push back down and come back and retest this broken resistance, basically, that's now support, and then push to the upside. That's kind of, not even kind of, that's exactly what I want to see. Yeah, and if it does that, it'd come and retest this RSI line. Yeah, that's the play. Because I'm pretty sure the 1 hour isn't calling for a buy yet on arbitrage. Hold on. I mean, a sell yet. Yeah, it can't be. 15-minute isn't there yet. Nope. So this is honestly the play for me. Is I want to see price come down and retest down here, kind of give an equal low, act like it's going to break this trend line, then push to the upside. It's kind of all I really see on this at this point. So EA, another one that's a dud. I don't really have a... Get out of here, GA. Let me actually get rid of all this. So let's go on over to GA. GA. Only thing that's making me not say that I'm bullish on here is, let's go into the weekly time frame, is that this weekly candle didn't close above this resistance right here, and price made a gap to the upside. That gap to the upside can very well get filled, then price can push to the upside. So that's kind of the only reason why I'm not really calling that this is going for a buy. This whole trade setup that I had drawn up didn't even play out, so let's not even look at that. But I like this bullish candle, but it didn't close. It did not close over this line. It's just that we have a gap to the upside on the next candle. So daily time frame it. I like where it's really chilling at right now, to be quite honest with you, because what I've been really trying to see is from this drop right here, prices at that 71%, and it gave a nice weight to it. Kind of want to see if I want to sell this right now, to be quite honest. The only thing that I'm not feeling, if you draw this trend line, well, this price gone and did, it's gone and broke it. But I need a retrace, I need a retest of that to be like, oh, well, then there you go. It's continuation to the upside if we're using the trend line logic. So, but again, it hit this 71% fib right here nicely, and it's giving rejection. If it goes and closes this wick, then maybe. But this is probably the best thing that I've seen all night, to be honest with any of all of you guys. This is probably the best type of trade setup that I've seen all night. Only thing is this is extremely bullish, and so seeing that, especially with the double bottom, this could just continue to the upside. But if I were to get into a trade, it'd probably be if I can get that price again, 1.79874, and I would look to sell this. It'll be a long term type of sell. 231 pips, so you want to use good risk management on this one. It's not even my favorite setup. That's the thing. I don't even like this setup to begin with. It's just because I get a clearer picture because you have this bearish impulsive move to the downside and then a slow and steady climb up to the upside. Let me see where the point of control is at. First of all, oops, that is arbitrage. I do not want that. Yeah, point of control is still way up here, so it's like, no, I'm not even gonna, like, again, I don't even want that setup. It doesn't look good at all to me. I'd rather see if price can come up to 1.80485, and then I can make a decision, a better decision up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert at that horizontal range, and if it hits, then say less. Let's do it. But if it doesn't and it drops, I'll take the L. If it drops from like right here and then goes down, then I'll take that L. So it's like, let's see what happens, right? Arbitrage. Let me get off of point of control real quick. Let's go to arbitrage real quick. 15-minute. Okay, first of all, let's go to the daily time frame. It's calling for a buy first and foremost. I remember this from last week. Get that out of here. Yeah, this buy called. I didn't even tell anybody about this, so that's my fault. But I usually, when I see this type of move, I want a retest of the RSI line before it pops to the upside. So that's the reason why I didn't really tell anybody, but apparently this is still going. So if it comes up to 1.81460, that would be like a place where I'd look for some hard resistance. And what I'm looking at for price to come up is 1.80524. So slightly higher, almost to, oh my goodness, almost to the stop loss even. So again, I don't really see that much great setups, to be honest. It's real out here in the field. This has been extremely bearish, and now it's looking like it wants to turn around. But that's what this kind of is. That's what's kind of happened right here. Impulsive bearish to the push to the downside, slow move to the upside, then price ended up falling again. So see what happens with GA. Let's go to Eurogbp. This one has been troublesome. So after price had, let me just go to the weekly. It's way easier to talk about it. So after price was leaving these wicks up here, and I've been saying that, oh, I want to see EG fall. I want to see EG fall. It finally fell down. It's holding at this demand zone, though. This is the only issue that apparently EG is having, that it doesn't want to drop quite yet. It has this demand zone that it came down to, and it's holding very nicely on the weekly. It gave a doji on the first week, and then a candle with the long wick to the downside the second week. I could still see price potentially pushing to the upside here. I don't like seeing this candle right here, this inverse hammer kind of. I don't like seeing that, but I still don't think that price is ready to push down quite yet, because when I look at this candle right here, and then they're right next to each other, well, then it tells me, okay, then what do you really want to do, right? So kind of still holding that, oh, price can hold right here, because no matter how I look at it, I still kind of have to see this play out for me to get back into a sell. So from this bearish push, I kind of have to see price push up to like 0.900 before I see it push to the downside again, especially with all of this that is like not traded or anything like that. And this could probably take like up to 2 weeks right here for price to just push up to those heights. And if price does push up to those heights, then that's going to make GU and the other GBP pairs fall. So it's kind of like what I'm looking for, and actually what I'm seeing with the other GBP pairs. Like, I'll just go back to GU. And again, what am I looking for? I'm looking for it to drop, push up to push back up, then drop again. So if I'm looking at that for GU, kind of looking for the same thing on EG. They don't look identical, but they look similar enough. So let me go into the 4-hour time frame. So I'll drop from here. Been starting to use a lot of trend lines lately. There you go. So kind of the same thing as with not even kind of, it is the same thing as with GU. Need to see a push to the upside, retest, then continuation to the upside. But let's see what arbitrage has to say, because I might just actually end up being a risky mofo and trying to do a play like this. Put it quite under these lows, risking 47 pips to get 133 pips. 2.71 to 2.79 risk to reward ratio. That's not terrible to me. Let's see where the point of control is at. All the way up here. Yeesh. Yeah, that's not bad. This doesn't look bad to me at all for a potential sell, but it's for a potential buy. But this is a swing, so this can take probably a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks to get up there. So you got to be careful with that. But I actually kind of like this for the sell, to be quite honest. I mean, for the buy, to be quite honest. Daily time frame called for a sell, drop down. It's holding at the 2 deviations. If you could barely see that, the 4-hour time frame, it looks like it's been wanting to try to break to the upside, but it's been struggling. 1-hour time frame called for the buy, but this doesn't look great to me at all. And I'm pretty sure the 15-minute looks kind of, yeah. It looks like it wants to kind of drop maybe. Let's look at the 2-hour time frame. This looks way better, and it looks like this is about to take off. Yeah, I like EG more than all the other pairs, quite honestly. So you can either do this. You can either play it like this move right here, where I'm looking for it to push to the upside from right here, and put your stop loss at 0.8800, basically. I'd put it at 0.8800, why not? Or you can go ahead and wait for this arbitrage move for the entry and wait for price to come back down to this RSI line before popping to the upside. So you can play either one of those, but both I am definitely looking for buys on EG. This one is more of a shorter move. It's 42 pips, and I put the stop loss like right under these lows, so where it's at actually is pretty good, which is a 1 to 2. So it's not even that terrible. This is a 1 to 2, while the other one is a 1 to 2.8. So it's like pick whatever one you want, right? I'll set an alert for this to tell you to get out even, but I definitely do like the EG buy. So long exit all, once per bar close, create, continue anyway, and yeah, there you guys go. So pick either or. Okay, that's for Eurogbp. Let's go on over to Euro NZD. This pair is trash. That's why people are like, why do you trade it then? Because I'm stubborn. Alright, so EG, let's go ahead and get a clearer look. Remove drawings. Let's go on over to the weekly time frame. So been a lot of consolidating right here on EN, which makes me think, okay, I'm seeing a lot of consolidation here. One or two things going to happen. It's either going to break out to the upside or it's going to break out to the downside. Or slowly creep up. That's the third option. So let's go ahead and just draw this supply zone down here. If you want, you could even draw it a little better than I did. The heck? Oh, it's because price. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's much better. Daily time frame. Oh, before we go to the dailies, go to the weekly. Draw this huge trend line because I still do want to see how this plays out. No, no, this looks terrible. There we go. Still want to see how this plays out. If price is going to end up just dropping, or if it's going to come back up and say that, oh, well, I didn't necessarily want you to get out of me. Now, this daily candle right here is telling me that price does not want to buy at all. This candle right here is very much showing what EN really wants to do. I don't think it's going to push to the upside. I mean, let's look at where the point of control is at, sure. But I don't think that, yeah, it's all the way up here. Barely anything down here. I do, with price being this low down here, let's just go ahead and delete the trend line. But we know that it's there, right? Because I've been talking about that trend line for like the past 3 weeks. I do like the buys for EN. I definitely do. I mean, look at this. You guys know my setups. Look at this. You couldn't have asked for anything better for a setup right here. Would have been at risk-free at this point in time. That daily candle, though, it is stripping me out. But, yeah, the push to the upside, 78.6 got hit. Price continuing to the upside. It gapped open, but I still see a push to the upside still happening again. So it's like, again, guys, this was already, like, this was a textbook move on my end. This is a trade that I'd love to take. Let's go into the, but as of what I'm seeing right here, just a whole bunch of consolidation. So I can't even trade this right now until I see a breakout of some sort of either past these highs or these lows. I just don't like it down here. All I want to see, though, is more of a push to the upside than anything. That's all I could really say. Same thing on arbitrage, man. Doesn't look that great. That daily candle, and it left the wick at that RSI line. I mean, if this wick can get filled up, that'd be great, but I needed to, at this point, it really does need to either break out to the downside or break out to the upside before I trade it. I don't want to necessarily trade this on the in-between. But yeah, it's just been it's kind of how it looks. Just consolidating in between those two zones. This EN right here, I mean, if it comes back down to this RSI line and it holds, why not? You can take the buy. I'm more bullish than bearish on it. Same thing right here. It looks like it's calling for a buy. The RSI, I mean, the compass just hasn't crossed through the RSI line, but it's just not for me. 15-minute called for a buy, hasn't called for a sell yet. So if you want to, like I said, I'm more bullish on EN overall. I just needed to break 1.70455 before I'm officially bullish on it. So that is all on you if you take that. Gbp Jpy has been another pair that's just been quite infuriating to try and trade. Although not really, because I mean the trend is your friend and it's been bullish, so that's exactly what it's been doing. It's been buying. It broke through this demand zone right here, or it broke through this demand zone that was right here that was holding these prices. But then if you really push this back to the upside, then you kind of see that, oh, well, price actually has to break through here to really push to the upside. And I'm just like, I'm going to wait for it, you know? I'm going to wait and see what EG's going to do this week. I don't think I'm going to necessarily look at it to trade it or anything like that. Maybe I will, but I'm going to look at it to see what it's going to do. I mean, the 1 hour time frame looks like this is just going to push to the upside, honestly speaking, from this wick. 61.8 got hit once, twice. I can just see it keep pushing to the upside, honestly. But I'm just going to leave it alone. I want to see it give me better and more concrete like pricings and showing me that it actually wants to fall. Like the 1 hour, this 1 hour, I probably end up trying to look for a sell on this for sure. But going based off of technical analysis, I ain't got nothing for you guys, and I'm gonna keep it 100. So once per bar close, create. If this sells off, then sure, but I can't buy at these high of prices. I'd rather just see this happen at this point. So that's for GJ. I'm not gonna go over UChef or USD Mexican kick. I'm not trading those. Let's go on to top. Let's go on to gold. Let's go on to gold, man. Gold is, oh man. All right, so let's go over here real quick. So we had this trade that I had called on gold. Price ended up hitting at break even, then dropped back down to the same area. Then price actually ended up pushing up. So if you took a loss off of this gold trade, not the one that I called before the market, like on Friday, but this one right here, then that's kind of your own fault. But and I don't mean that in a rude way or anything like that. But gold, it pushed to the upside, and I was saying that okay, stop loss got hit right here at 1863, but I'm not confident that gold is gonna sell. I mean that gold is gonna buy, especially with it touching this trend line right here. And if you look at the weekly time frame, this trend line was there for a reason, and it touched that. I'm like, I don't think that gold is necessarily going to be looking to sell, and indeed it hit that, gave this. Look at this candle right here on the daily. I'm not confident in this selling at all. I have no idea what happened in the past couple hours when the market opened, because it looks like the price pushed up to try to sweep out some more stop losses, and then it just came back down. But I'm expecting this to fully drop. Like, honestly speaking, I'm expecting gold to do the numbers on the drop. I'm not even gonna, I can't really say that my analysis on gold has changed, because I've been saying that I've been bearish on gold ever since I showed you guys this on the weekly time frame. And it's only been showing me that same thing. I still have this swing sell playing out, but with the weekly showing me a clear sell like this, I mean, again, look at what happened last time gold called for a buy. Went super bullish. What's the last time gold called for a sell? Went super bearish. When's the last time gold called for a buy? Did some consolidation before it pushed to the upside. So I'm not trying to go up against this arbitrage right now, especially when it's giving me this type of setup that I always look for. I'm very much bearish on gold for the next couple of weeks until that weekly arbitrage tells me otherwise. Daily time frame on gold as well, telling you to sell. 4-hour time frame on gold telling you to sell. 1-hour time frame, maybe not so, but it's looking like it might start to sell. Yeah, the 1 hour don't look great at all. But honestly, like I said, guys, I'm still looking for this to drop. Like, same thing from last week. Push to the upside. Especially with what price did on Friday. If this doesn't fall and this actually pushes like up to 1890, then I would really reconsider trading gold for myself. I'm just playing. But yeah, gold, I'm super bearish on it. I don't have anything to say that would make me think that it is bullish. S&P, well, prices came down to this support. I want to see what it's going to do. I've seen this movie before, though. Price might fuck around and come back up here to 3814, and then continue falling to the downside. If that's going to happen, I don't think it is, though. I think that this is probably going to be an opportunity for the S&P to find some support to continue making higher highs, to be quite honest with you. Because, like I said, I've seen this movie before, and every time price does something like this, and I expect, oh, I want to sell right here, it just keeps pushing to the upside. So let's see what happens on the S&P. But right now, I'm personally looking for buys on it. If you want take risky buy, then by all means, I'm not against it. Put stop loss like, wait. Put your stop loss like right there, and probably take price up to like the likes of here. It's not a 1 to 2 necessarily, but it's close to it. I'm not against it, but again, I don't really think that this is gonna go bearish. Like like I said, I've seen this movie a bunch of times. I'll even show multiple instances where I've seen this movie. See how price looks like it's dropping, dropping, dropping. What does it do? Makes a higher high. Break these highs, makes a higher high. So same thing can happen right here. Don't believe me? Let's go look again. Let's look at another instance where that happens. Price pushes up, drops, acts like it's gonna drop, comes back up to my area where I would look to sell. This actually played out nicely, but then what did price do? Kept going and make higher highs. I'll do it again. I'll do the same thing again. Let's look at this daily. From the COVID drop. February 20th, price drop. Came back up to where I would be looking to sell it, right here. What does it end up doing? Going to make a higher high. So, I mean, I'm just looking to see what this can possibly do. Again, it could possibly push to the upside, stop where I want to sell it, and then continue dropping, or it could just keep going to make a higher high. Same thing with Dow Jones. It's literally like basically the same thing. Again, it's at the support. If you're gonna buy it, now would be the time to do it. So buy right there. Either it's gonna come up to this area where I would look to sell it, or it's just gonna go and create higher highs. So, like I said, it's just the same thing. Okay, so that is for S&P and Dow Jones. Don't really have much to talk about those. Ripple did absolute crazy numbers here, man. Ripple did absolute ridiculous numbers. Let me actually clear this. What am I doing? Okay, cool. Clear that off. Clear that off. Clear that off. And clear this off. Okay. I like seeing how this trend line right here got broken so nicely, and then look, what did price do? It came and retested it. That's funny. That's funny to see. So price pushed to the upside. But I do see that it still has this resistance that it has to break through before it continues, possibly going up next to 75 cents, and then possibly next to the likes of 80 cents or whatever. We do still have all of those, but if you guys look at this, where is price lined up to? The 61.8 from this previous fall. Almost came to the 71%. I could definitely see this looking, I could literally see this still possibly falling from right here to the likes of 17 cents or maybe even 15 cents before the pop happens, right? I could definitely still see that as a possibility. However, if it does get to the likes of 66 cents, I'm gonna have to switch my bias, right? Because that's not what price is showing me. And so let's go on over to, I mean, there's really no point in me looking at the 4 hour and all that stuff because it just made a huge move on the daily. What I'm really looking to see is what arbitrage has to say, which, I mean, the daily time frame is already spoken, so it's like, again, I had mentioned, I was talking about this buy right here for weeks. I mean, not for weeks, for days. I talked about it on Sunday last week. I talked about it on Tuesday, and it played out. So that's that weekly time frame. This thing never called for a sell at once. I mean, never called for a sell even after this dump, huh? That's funny. But one thing that I am going to be watching for is this 1 hour time frame right here for that sell call. Because if it does end up selling where it's at, then I am definitely here for it. Short, create, continue anyways. So that's for Ripple. Like, don't really have much to say about Ripple other than I'm still holding in my not Coinbase, fuck Coinbase. I'm still holding this in my Binance account. There's a lot of people that say that, oh, I can't buy this or I can't sell this. Binance lets me still hold this and buy it and stuff like that. So I don't know what I don't know what a lot of people are talking about. But yeah, this I still definitely. Wait, what am I doing? I do not want price to come down this low. I just want price to come down to 15 cents or 14 cents, and then that's when I would definitely look to buy for the long term for a price to go Team Rocket. All right, so that's for Ripple, Bitcoin, Master Bitcoin. Yeah, forsaken me. All right. So who remembers this? Who remembers this trend line that I drew out? I don't think this is gonna end up playing out. I'm gonna go ahead and crush all that. The way how that daily candle looks, I might actually go to the weekly candle and go take a look at what Bitcoin looks like. But before I do that, buy box. This was a cool move though. Okay. First sign to make me really scared about buying Bitcoin at this point, this candle right here. Me seeing this bullish move, but then price literally coming back and contracting more than 75% of what it did. This is making me think that price is going to drop. Number two, this downtrend line is still being respected. Nothing closed over it. So I still think that this is going to drop. You got 1, 2, 3 touches now. So this is a confirmed downtrend on the daily. 4-hour time frame. It did close over it on the 4-hour, but it came right back in. I can't say that this is going to go bullish. But if I am using my regular rules of fibs, then this still looks like a solid place to look for buys, I guess. 61.8. I'd probably have to look at 31,252 at this point. But if price breaks through this support, then I just have price dropping to the downside. And as I've said last week, and this is probably like the third or fourth time I've said it, this this daily arbitrage, when I start seeing purple like this, when I start seeing purple candles like this, this is probably going to end up dropping. And it's, again, this wick right here, this candle, is just telling me that price wants to sell at this point. Let me go show another instance where I saw purple. Right here. Once you start seeing purple or magenta, whatever candle color stick, I tend to start wanting to look for sells. When I start to see green, I'll start to look for buys. Let's go look for another instance. Green, I want to look for buys. The pinks, I want to look for sells. Nothing green over there, really. Nothing pink or magenta, whatever. But you guys get the point. So, with me seeing Bitcoin like this, I'm not really caring for the buys. If it breaks through this and calls for the buy, if it breaks through this and calls for a buy, then absolutely I could change my bias. But as of right now, I can't really say that I'm liking the buys, both technical analysis and arbitrage. I can't say it. So that is my opinion on the Bitcoin. Ethereum, kind of the same thing. If you haven't gone out of this position, I highly encourage you to get out and take your money. If you haven't, because price came back up to the all-time highs again and rejected off of it. It's not looking good for a possible sign for price to continue to the upside. This does not look good when price has done this triple top. No, I don't really. You want that dog coin analysis? I'm done. But yeah, I'll definitely check out dog coin. But this for sure, I don't. Ethereum doesn't look like it's gonna possibly go bullish either. It would, for me to have that opinion once again, is if price breaks through 1570, this 1540 to 1570 area, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, for sure, yeah, it's gonna buy. But as of now, I'm not feeling it. Let's go on to arbitrage real quick. Daily time frame, not there yet, but it's definitely setting up. 4-hour time frame, been called for the nastiness. I don't like how that looks. 1-hour time frame though, called for the sell. Although I don't really care how this looked either. I wouldn't have taken this personally. So yeah, Ethereum, all I see is another push. I just see a push to the downside at this point. And yeah, sure. Let's look at this dog coin. This is gonna be funny. Damn. This is hilarious, bro. Why does this look like Bitcoin in its early stages? Dang, this thing came all the way up to 7 cents right here. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a crack at this. I mean, simple. Cole, bro, you have the same thing as I do. Why do you even want me to do this analysis? You know exactly what you're looking for. I'm looking basically for the same thing. I want price to break through this trend line. If anything. No, I'm just playing. Let me not even get that trend line stuff. But if I would really look for another push to the upside, I need price to break through this zone right here. I like how it did come back down and then it broke through here. What I would probably end up wanting to see is for price to come down, take off. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Since the whole world is like, oh, let's trade dog coin. But it's so funny. Arbitrage, 1 hour time frame, boom, gave you the buy. It's so funny looking at all these. Yeah, I would definitely want price to come back down to see if I can get another entry at like 20 at that 2 or 2.5 cents area, and then push to the upside. That would be love. Mike, that entry that you got, that's cash. Daily time frame. This thing is so funny because it's called a buy back in December. And then who would have thought that this thing would have popped like that? So funny. But anyways, is there anything else anybody wants me to look at? Looking at this on technical analysis is just funny. Oh, I'm getting a call. No, it's mine. Yeah. I'm almost done. Alright, so if there's no other analysis, then yeah, guys, I kind of actually think this might drop. Kind of looks like what Bitcoin looks like before it drops. Pushes to the upside, consolidates a little, or pushes to the downside, pushes up, drops, consolidate, come back to this area. This actually might end up fucking around and drop, but we'll see what happens. Everybody's big on buying it, so let's see what happens with that buy though. I would love to get more entries right here though. I would love that. Alright, well if that's the case, I am out, y'all. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it, and let's make some money this week. Deuces.